I've got a list. It's not a very long list, but hey, welcome back everybody to the Nostalgically Hip Podcast. We're going to talk about our favorite movies or the top 5 best movies of 2023, and in addition to your top 5 best shows.
Dude, good one.
I struggled with this, dude, and I'll tell you why. There's a couple reasons why. Mainly because, number one, I don't watch a lot of movies to begin with, but number two, I don't think there are really very many good movies out in 2023.
Yeah, there's not, and we've talked about this before. They suck, and you got to search high and low these days to find something that's not, too woke or pandering or freaking sending some sort of message. So it is difficult, but they are out there. Here's a good tip would be stay away from anything Disney or Marvel, and you're already on the right track to finding a good movie.
Which sucks because I like the Marvel concept, but yeah, you're right, man. It's turned into such crap. Except, well, I'll save that for my list.
Okay. Well, and I thought, I was thinking about this the other day because it's the end of the year. The Grammys, Oscars, the Oscar picks, which we can get into that. How everyone's so pissed about Barbie, which, by the way, wasn't it a stupid fucking show? I mean, that show, I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But shows like that never won. Never were nominated for Oscars. And I thought we always just knew that they wouldn't be. Why all of a sudden? Well, I know why. But it's not that good. I haven't seen it, but I promise you it's not The Godfather.
I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. Get this piece of shit off the screen.
Have you seen that movie?
What, Godfather?
No, the fucking Barbie.
Hell no.
I've got a buddy who has not seen The Godfather.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
He's retarded.
Oh, well, we don't say retarded on this show. So.
Downtarded then.
No,
He's
we say 8-pound waterhead.
He's definitely a waterhead. Yeah, there's so many shows like he has not seen The Unforgiven.
What?
Yeah. Like The Godfather's great. Unforgiven is so fucking good. Like there's no way you can't.
Wait a minute.
He hasn't seen it.
Is this guy a freaking communist? I hate American.
And we've had Doc on the show before. Doc knows him well, and we've talked about this. And my take is he has zero culture. His culture is like 1990s and above, and it generally consists of anything up.
She's wanting your attention,
She's killing me tonight. You are killing me.
She's being needy tonight. I don't know what the hell's going on. But thanks, Alma. You just took away my train of thought. As usual. So there was the whole Barbie fiasco, but we know that. I know what I was going to say. Sounds like you need to get that guy a freaking dress.
It's so funny that you say that. I'm so glad that you did too, because we say this all the time. We are convinced he is a woman. I've got a picture of him leaving his house that Doc took, and he looks just like a lesbian. So, but if he listens to this, which he won't, and he should, at least for the first 10 minutes, but all of our friends know who he is, and those that don't, all I need to, those few little hints will give the...
Well, I'm going to do something probably not very nice, and I'm just going to go ahead and give the name out of the individual, and it's Sally.
It's definitely probably, yeah. I have him in my phone as Lesbo. That's his name. So when I call him, I say, "Hey Siri, call Lesbo."
Nice.
Oh shit, it's calling him.
Oh shit. Well, hell, just call him.
So anyhow, yeah. So I got to thinking with the Grammys up, and the new year, which we never did talk about it. We kind of got away from our nostalgic talk a bit because, well, my house burned down, and I just don't think we wanted to invest much time into. Yeah, so we just kind of went on rants and tirades for a while, but we kind of bring it back and we still do our little loose talking, which I think we agree that makes it a little bit easier. But we can. This kind of gives us a path.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you needed you needed to vent, man.
I needed to vent. You're right. Yeah.
So, we talk a lot of crap on this show and we joke around a lot. But you know what? Honestly, at the end of the day, you had to vent, and we will deviate from the regularly scheduled programming.
It's really hard, and I guess you don't even realize you're doing it a lot because you're like, you get so much on your mind, you don't want to think about. Like normally we'd sit down and take notes, and we'll get together and go, hey, here's what we're going to talk about. But it does make it hard when you're out of your element.
Right, for sure, man. Yeah, well, we did fine. Look, we have a comment in the room, and imagine that. Top of the day to you. My name is Henny. How is it going with the podcast? I offer services like... Oh. Okay.
What?
Oh, here we go. Podcast, transcription, translation, and video subtitle. Thank you very much, but I do all that myself.
Yes. And somewhere... soon he's going to get up and adjust the cameras too. Can you adjust cameras?
It's I guarantee it's a bot, dude.
Is it a bot? Okay.
Guarantee it. But whatever, man. Well, who can we offend tonight?
Well, let's offend. Well, we can offend everybody, but
you're right. So, well, I have no doubt that we will offend somebody later on this evening. But let's get into it, man. For movies, I only got 3.
okay, well, you can take some of mine. Maybe you've seen them. I think I've even recommended, but I don't know if you have or not. Give me one. So I just kind of made up a list of the top 5, really in no particular order. I like them all, but I didn't want to take the time to go, I like that one better than that one. And I'm going to just read them off. You can go first. Give me your...
Mine was pretty easy. Number 1 pick, I really, really enjoyed this movie, man. It was a sleeper for sure. And Big Hollywood did the same as the Jim Caviezel and tried to blackball it. And that movie was nefarious. I don't know if you've heard of it. Oh my God.
Oh, I think I just watched it. Is it the one with the guy from Boondock Saints?
Yes.
Yes, I just watched it like a couple weekends ago. And I thought the same thing. There's a lot of God, right? A lot of like influence and stuff like that. And they're talking about that. And is Glenn Beck? He's at the end, right?
Yeah.
So I thought about that movie immediately. And you're right. I didn't hear anything, but it had really good reviews on Amazon, on Prime, and that's why we watched it. But yeah, go ahead.
That movie could have been a lot better without Glenn Beck in it. I don't think they needed to put him in. It was kind of like it almost didn't fit. You know what I mean? I know they had to wrap it up somehow, but it was just weird to me. But the movie was outstanding. Sean Patrick Flannery plays the lead role, or the co-lead. Hey, Big Edward, what's up, brother? So we're hosting a podcast. We do this every week, every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and you can join in on the fun if you like. But so Sean Patrick Flannery, who I didn't even recognize at first, he put on a lot of weight for that role. He's a legitimate badass, dude. He's got a Brazilian jiu-jitsu school in California, and he teaches.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's as legit as they come. But what an acting performance. We've talked about this before on the podcast where I kind of struggle with my faith. I go back and forth a lot. So when I first started watching it, and as a matter of fact, Lou Del Preet, who's my co-host for Nothing's Off the Table, he's the one that talked me into watching it. And when I first started, I was like, man, this is probably going to make me uncomfortable because they're going to try to shove this down my throat. But no, the story was well written. The acting was off the chain. And what really makes that movie so great is that it was all acting. There really weren't many special effects. Most of it took place.
All dialogue, yeah.
Yeah, and these guys, man, they knocked it out of the park as far as I'm concerned. I've seen it twice already. I'll watch it again. Just one of my favorites.
Yeah, one of the things I thought was interesting is it is sending a message, which, that's nothing new, but it's more of a message on kind of what we're tackling today with what's happening, but it's real subtle in it. Like, it's in a way that the left can't do. The left is so hateful in their message sending that people, they just keep going. They just keep going, and women are mistreated, and this and that. They did a good job till you barely catch it because it's almost like a possession kind of show.
Well,
with some subtle messages.
And it makes you question it, you know, going through. So the premise of the movie is you've got this prisoner that's about to be executed. The night before, his court-appointed psychiatrist or whatever ends up killing himself. So they have to bring in this other lawyer, and they have to come in and they have to see if he is fit to be executed, which is stupid, in our legal system. But anyway, so he comes in, and right off the bat, he tells the lawyer that he's possessed. I'm sorry, not lawyer, psychiatrist. Why did I say lawyer? Psychiatrist. Anyway, so the psychiatrist has to evaluate his mental state to see if he's fit to be killed. But my question is, if he's not fit to be killed, what's killing going to do? It's going to fix that problem.
Yeah, right.
So he has to evaluate him. He's got 8 hours. Warden gave him 8 hours. It's the day of execution now. And so almost immediately the guy hints at that he's possessed. And the psychiatrist doesn't buy it. Well, I'm not going to give away the whole movie. You got to watch it, man. And if you're worried about the religious overtones, they're so subtle that you probably wouldn't have noticed it until I said something.
Well, in all honesty, it's no different than The Exorcism, which that has same type of religious things, but there's a warning in it, but it's subtle. It's just a possession. It's just another possession movie, really. In it, like we when we had the priest on a while back, or ordained minister, I asked him. Remember, I said, how many of these terrible, evil crimes are committed, and do you think that maybe that could have been a possession? Like some of the things that happened, maybe it is a possession. Maybe that is a possession. And he was like, for sure. Like, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said, yeah, that could be a brief period of it, but we would never know. And that's kind of what that is. It's hidden. He's in the system. He's,
right.
He's incarcerated and he's about to be killed. And there would never be a study on that. We would just automatically assume, well, he's just a crazy killer. But maybe there is something more to that movie kind of alludes to that fact.
Well, what kind of kills me is that the Christians that are out there that say they don't believe in the devil. And I don't understand how, if you believe in God, how you can't believe in the devil, especially if you're a scholar of the Bible, or even, like a pseudo scholar, weekend scholar of the Bible. It's how many times is he mentioned in it? So you can't believe in good and not believe in evil if you're a person of faith, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, not only that, but like we've talked about it several times in the past few weeks, is you can see the evil. You can see the devil today, and it's out there. This stuff that we're seeing, whether you want to believe or not, whatever your case is, you definitely have to believe in good and bad, and good versus evil. So,
you know what? Again, I can't help. I've been doing a lot of surfing on YouTube lately, and it's weird videos that pop up, but I can't help but to think that we're living in the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, man.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting, maybe all this alien crap, maybe all that's really God coming down and saying, enough. Mm-hmm. It's time to put up or shut up.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Again, I'm not a real religious guy, so if I'm spouting this stuff, holy crap.
You know what, man? I'm starting to look more towards it, but only because I think what we're seeing today, towards our kids. We've talked about this a lot too, and we just experienced it here, right? I talked to one of my liberal friends the other day, and because he was going on about the books in the libraries, and he thought they were just banning books. And I explained, no, there's a specific book they're banning, and I kind of got angry at him. And I normally don't. I just laugh at him because he makes me laugh because he's so liberal. He's one of the funniest guys I know because nothing he says makes sense. He just hears from CNN, and he has no facts. He just repeats that, and I think it's funny. But he said that, and it hit a hard, hit a soft spot, I guess, and
hit a nerve.
And I went off on him, and he brought it up again the other day, and I said, look, we just dealt with this, and I sent you that text from that school system. We had a local on the school board. They were going to take a vote at one of the school board meetings on whether to allow boys into the girls' restrooms. There's an actual legit meeting in the small town that we're at. What do we have? Less than 80,000 people in total.
Oh, for sure. We probably got about 20 to 30,000.
Right. I mean, where we're at, but then the whole county probably has about 80 or less.
Right.
It's hitting us here. I can't imagine what it's hitting everywhere else, and that's legit. I've got I sent you the text. It was an actual school board meeting about a month ago.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
It's insane, and this is going on. And I think when you see those things, it drives you. You understand it. The reason why that can exist is because I think we've gotten so far from God, or at least the faith.
Yeah, when you take God out of schools, you take God out of everything. What do you expect? You just open that door wide open for debauchery and evil to kind of just come in and take hold. And once it gets a hold, it's really hard to get rid of.
Yeah, and even, let's just say that it didn't. Let's say that it doesn't exist. Is it still such a bad thing to give somebody faith in something to make them... Some people really need that to do the right things, or the fear of God. And I don't think we have the fear of God anymore. There might be time that we had it again.
Well, we don't have God, period.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You can see what's happened. It's at a rapid pace, too, because of it. Just is.
Well, you know what? Free will, right? Don't be, if God is real, don't be whining at Judgment Day when your little pink, purple, green haired ass is running around with looking like you fell in a tackle box and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see, speaking of like the whole, did you see the guy, what's his name? Sean Strickland last week at.
Yeah.
So, dude, we were laughing our asses off at that because it was so, he's just letting that reporter have it, right?
It's about time, man.
Yeah, and he says it like it is, and I started laughing, and one of the things that came to mind was the guy interviewing him. These guys were always safe. They could say what they wanted, and then the leagues would go to defense for them, and with the UFC, they're not.
Right.
If you don't like it, get out of the room. But the reality of it is that guy up there, he calls him, you're not a man. The reality is if the world goes to hell in a handbasket tomorrow, we have to fight. That reporter that was asking him those questions is going to go run and hide in a cellar somewhere. The guy fighting is going to be Sean Strickland. And those very guys that they hate today are going to be the guys they're begging to protect them if that shit goes down. And that's just a fucking harsh reality. Everybody they hate, the only reason that they're doing their talking now on those points is because they have guys like that'll soldiers and people like that to go to war for them. But that guy just sits behind a fucking microphone and, a screen, computer all day long.
So I say good for Sean Strickland for doing that, because you know what? That question had absolutely nothing to do with the UFC.
That's what they do, though. They do it all the time. They're always they don't want to talk about fighting. The question, if I wanted to talk about that, I would ask a gay rights advocate or whatever activist. I'm not asking Sean Strickland. I don't care what Sean Strickland's views on fucking homosexuality are. He's a fighter. I'd talk to him and say, so what's it like to get in there on fight night?
Get your face smashed in.
If you could sit down with Sean Strickland, was he light, middleweight, heavy middleweight champion? Would you talk to him about gay, or would you ask him about fighting?
Oh man, we talk about June and Pride Month and the floats and what leather straps are you wearing this year?
All they want to do is stir up shit. That's not the question for a guy like that. You don't ask.
I would ask, hey, so when you take your opponent down, you take the back, do you kind of just rub it in their butt a little bit?
Yeah. And the best part is that he acts like Dana White says it best. Like I wouldn't tell him, he wouldn't tell if there was a gay fighter that wanted to talk about gay stuff. He wouldn't tell him not to say that. It's a freedom of speech, and that's what it really comes down to. But they only want that freedom of speech to go when it comes from them. So
Ed in the room, he can attest to this. When you were at the Marines, you play a lot of gay chicken, and I don't like to lose. Is all I'm saying. Yeah. You can draw your own conclusions from that, but I'm going to shift gears a little bit. I'm going to move into my my next movie when I find my notes. Yeah, of course, because I can't find my fucking
you
notes.
work on that, and I'll give you my movie. Let me find mine.
What the?
All right, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but the movie Sisu, I think I recommended it to you last year.
You did. I have not watched it yet.
Yeah, I loved it, man. It was kind of like, I think the guys that made John Wick did it, and I think you can get it on Amazon now, or you could. We bought it, I think, like sometime last summer, but that's a great movie about a war veteran. And I forget who he fought with, but he was just one guy, and the Russians and Germans during World War II are out. You know, I think the war's just been called off. He comes across a gold mine, and they happen to find out that he's got all this gold on him, so he knows they want to take his gold, essentially.
Found him.
There you go. They want to take his gold, and so all the violence ensues, and it's good. And it's like an hour, I think, which I love, an hour and 30 minutes long. Straight to the point, straight violence, not woke. There's a moment,
right?
But it's not too bad.
There's always going to be a moment.
Well, when they let the guy save the girls, and they do, that's how you know you're on the right path, because they won't do that anymore. The girls, I don't need your help. I'll get this on my own, which is always the case. We've talked about that before. The women cannot be saved by the male anymore, and then the male has to look like an idiot. And this guy doesn't. It's a great movie. It's violent. There's not much to it. It's not like the one you picked. There's not a message. It's just violence. It's action. It's very John Wicky style, but in a different sort of environment, and just fun, which that's what I like.
So it's crazy. I didn't pick that movie because of the message. I really thought it was very well written, very well acted out. Yeah, and the message was cool too, man. You know, believe it or not. So, but my next pick, and you're gonna laugh at this one. I picked Guardians of the Galaxy, their latest one that came out.
Okay, I've heard it's good. I haven't seen it. I've seen the other two.
You know, I agree with your assessment on Marvel, what Disney's doing, but there's just something about the damn Guardians of the Galaxy. I can relate, I guess, to the main character. I was kind of a screw up and kind of a loner, but now he's found this family and misfits. So
I think the other two were great. They were. I don't know, honestly. To your point, I don't know how Disney can fuck everything up as well as they do, and then release something that's good like that. What's happening with them? Like, so I heard that last one's really good. I just haven't seen it.
I don't know if it's because, Guardians of the Galaxy, correct me if I'm wrong, whoever's listening, Mom, I'll pay you later. I don't know if that's one of the more popular Marvel comics, so they're not too worried about pushing the agenda, because they know it's going to make money, but it's more for like maybe the hardcore fans. Mm-hmm. And the other ones, like Captain Marvel or whatever, switching that from a male role to a female role. You know what? Just leave shit alone, man. It was done. It was great. There's a reason why you're bringing it back. Just leave it alone. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, and there's we've talked about this before too, and if you want to do that so strongly, there is a way to do it, but hijacking another IP to do that isn't the way. And it's not that anybody. Hey, look, message movies they've been around since Christ wore sandals, and no one cared. The difference is the way they go about it. You got to tell a fucking story.
Hold on. Since Christ wore sandals.
Yeah.
What kind of sandals do you think he wore?
They're little. They probably they were like made out of tree bark, and it probably had a little like hemp rope going across the foot, and then one down through the toes.
Do you think they're the inspiration for Birkenstocks?
Definitely. I mean, you can see the look.
So do you think Jesus smoked weed?
No, he was totally against that, and he would be if he was here right now, he would be talking to you. He would touch your soul, and he would say, "Andy, I think you chew too many gummies, the wrong kinds of gummies, and I think you smoke too much pot."
Duly noted.
Right.
I'm Catholic. I'll just go to confession. Everything's all good.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, wait, I forgot I gave it up for Lent.
What I was saying is that there's always been a way to do that. You got to tell a good story, though. You know, we've seen it time and time again. There's been good stories told where there's a strong woman or there's a strong, whatever the message they want to send. But the story's got to be good. It can't just be shit and you expect us to watch it so we can listen to your propaganda. And that's what Disney's so good at doing, is making shit and if you don't, they know it's shit. And then when you watch it and know it's shit, then they get mad and they have to sling something like a name call, like, oh, well, you're racist or you're homophobic or something like that. No, your shit just sucks. We've all watched movies with gay and women, heroes, Alien, right? Lots of stuff like that. And if it's a good story, we'll watch it.
So Ed, yes. However,
what do you say? You got to read what he said.
He said, "Andy, are you running the mics through a mixer board?" Yes. However, we're having issues. We normally don't do the show in the same room together, but I don't know if you were in the room earlier. Ryan's house caught on fire a couple months ago, so he's currently displaced. And then once we get him back and to his house, once it's finished being rebuilt, he'll get his stuff set back up, and the audio will be much better. I promise. So I apologize. We're doing the best we can. We'll make our 2 listeners happy. Right. Well, 3 now that you're here, Ed.
So you said the Guardians of the Galaxy. So tell me about it. What? I've heard it's good. I haven't seen it. I heard it's sad. Is it sad?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
It is because, well, I'm not going to say why because it'll
ruin it.
Yeah. But I get the 3 of them mixed up a lot. Liam, my son, is he can tell you everything about them. He's seen all of them. I don't know how many damn times, but what I liked about it, honestly, was watching it with him. Mm-hmm. And, the story was pretty good, but, whoa. He said it's like he's overdriving the mic by, all right, I'll turn the gain down a little bit. Tell me how that is. Go ahead and say something, Ryan.
Yeah. Is it my fault? Am I holding it too close, or normally you tell me to hold it real close?
Yeah, well, you don't talk soft to begin with. Okay. And that's cool. Yeah. I'm not saying change the way you talk, but let's just get the settings right.
Okay.
It's put on System of a Down. That's hilarious. Let's see. Are we overbanding here? Go ahead and say something.
Yeah. How does that sound?
That would be you that I was talking to.
I was just trying to see what you're reading here.
Well, we'll try that. See how that goes. I don't really want to mess with anything else.
We can do it. I can set everything up next week. I'll just put it at my place and I'll just have to. I got a table today, just a little fold-out table for sale. I can buy another one for me and set it up in a room somewhere.
How about now? I just adjusted, and now it was too low. So
I was talking there. Did you get any of that?
Yeah. Okay. He said it was too low, so I'm gonna. There's like a 20-second delay. It's good now. We're good now. Okay. Excellent.
Is that good?
I feel like we're doing like Kung Fu Theater on Sunday.
Right.
So, I think you're.
I see my hand over there. I'll be moving it, and it's like a real delay. Like there it is. There. Now I'm moving.
It's creepy, isn't it?
It's a little bit creepy. So, what else you got on that? Anything good on Guardians of the Galaxy?
Again, not a huge fan of it, but what I really enjoyed was it was a good story. It was sad, but I mainly enjoyed just being able to sit down and with my son where he wanted to watch a movie with Dad for a change instead of being on the damn Xbox all the time.
That's for definitely different. For me, I never get that anymore.
I have one last movie that I picked.
Well, can I go?
Yeah, but you're gonna laugh at the one I picked.
You want to go and then?
No, you're just gonna laugh at it. You're gonna be really?
Okay. All right. Well, mine is. Have you seen The Holdovers?
No.
It came out at about Thanksgiving time. It's got Paul Giamatti in it. The story is based around a guy who works at, I think it's a school, college, university, and during Christmas time, some of the parents can't pick their kids up, so they have to leave them there. And then a few of them get taken away. I think there's like 5 in total. The 4 get taken away, but 1 has to stay. So the teacher, Professor Paul Giamatti, ends up being volunteered to stay with the kid.
Voluntold.
Voluntold to stay with the kid. And he's kind of the hard ass, the asshole. But they form a friendship. You kind of get to see both sides. He's such a good actor anyway. And it's a really good story. There's, it kind of gets a little sad, a little touching, but it's good. The characters are really good.
Wait. You're really going to need to rephrase that.
What?
The teacher and the student, it's really touching. We need to know.
Well, it hits the spots. It hits them the way that it needs to without being too over the top. It's done by Alexander Payne, who's really good. He's actually from where I'm from, up in Nebraska. And he did you ever see Sideways with Paul Giamatti?
No.
Election, he did.
Hey, look, it's doing that shit again. What the hell's going on, man? We were good. So I've done 5 podcasts since last week. No issues at all.
It's got to have something to do with the microphone. Maybe
it's got to be, maybe.
Yeah, everything's fucking up. I don't know. If it's not doing it when I'm not here, it's not, I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
Well, a smart man would deduce that if it's not doing it when you're not here, then obviously it has to be your fault.
I don't know what to tell you. It's every time something happens on your end, it's always when I'm around.
Yeah.
And you blame it on me. If when I was at my house, everything was always my fault, my internet, my this and that. And now I'm here in your chair using your stuff, and you're still saying this doesn't happen until I'm around.
Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, that's pretty much 100%
so somehow
accurate.
or another, I'm doing this.
Yeah, whether you are or you're not.
I'm just sitting here.
Whether you are or you're not, you are.
Okay. See, this is a true liberal. This is the liberal mentality right here.
Well, that's what I got out of my 2 months ago.
This is the kind of talk I have with my wife or a liberal.
This is what I get for going to Liberty University for 2 months.
Right. Is that how long you made it? It was 2 months?
Maybe it was 3.
Okay.
It was a semester.
Yeah.
I had to go though, man. Well, I sent you some of that crap out of the textbook. I was so.
Liberty. Can you imagine it like Harvard?
Man, I was so blown away. I'm highlighting the crazy liberal indoctrination crap in there, and I'm making comments into the book like the book will understand what I'm saying back to it, instead of concentrating on the course material.
Yeah, it's hard to get through that. Even if you just want the grade, that's how I was. I just wanted the grade, so I would. When I was going, it was Obamacare was a big thing. People hadn't gotten so radical like they have now. About the most you'd get would be Obamacare. They were just going to die on that hill. Oh, it's just as great. It's just great. Obamacare. And I would just be like, yeah, okay, great. And I'd say, that sounds good. Glad it's working out for you. And now it's just everything. It's everything. They, by the way, forgotten all about Obamacare.
Of course.
Let's talk about everything else.
Yeah, it's all Trump, and I hate Trump because his name's Trump, and he's orange, and he's bad, and he's evil, and he's going to build a wall around the entire liberal community. It's going to be an amazing wall.
Day one, they said. Well, yeah, so Holdovers is really good. You should check that out. It's probably about 2 hours, so it's a little over my limit, but it's good. So give me your third one.
My third one. All right, I'm going to preface this by saying I normally am not a Nicolas Cage fan. But the movie that we watched, kind of just on a whim, we had nothing else to do that night. Connie and I sat down, put it on, and it was Renfield.
I've seen that. That's good. It's decent. It's
way better than I thought it would be. And I think I don't know, Renfield, I guess. I think he stole the show, man. Nicolas Cage was typical Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But I know Ed doesn't like that movie, but going into it with zero expectations, it came out being okay.
Right. Yeah, I don't remember it. I mean, I remember parts of it. I remember it's pretty bloody, right?
Yeah, now realize this is my list. But again, I had a hard time picking any movies. So I'm not saying these are great movies. I'm not saying that I'm hitting stuff with my elbow and fucking shit up. But I'm not saying they're my favorite movies. They were just the movies that I thought were the best that I had seen last year.
Right.
Which ain't saying a lot.
Yeah, it's hard to find them. All right, well, I got another one, and my buddy just watched this the other night, and he agreed. So everybody I've talked to has liked this movie. They're all generally about our age or, in that area. So I think I got a theory on it, is it's a horror, and it's kind of like the horrors we grew up with, where, you get the revenge story, something happened, you get the revenge. But it's called Thanksgiving. Have you seen that? It's Eli Roth.
I have not. However,
it came out about Thanksgiving time.
I typically, well, no way.
Yeah, about a couple weeks before, actually.
I usually like things that he does. So
yeah, he did Hostel, right? I remember him doing the Hostels, and there were a few turds in the mix, but yeah, this is good. I think you'd like it. It's like it reminded me a lot, and we've talked horror. We had the horror special last year. It reminded me a lot of like My Bloody Valentine.
Oh,
like, where they kind of leave it open at the end after you get who did it, whatever, because it's kind of a mystery. Much like is the guy killing the guy that we think is killing? Who's doing the killing? It's kind of Scream. Got a little bit of Scream to it. They lead you in different directions. Like maybe it's two people, maybe it's a girl, maybe it's maybe it's one of the younger kids, maybe it's or the son or something like that, and then it leads you all over, only to give you another story. So it's good. It reminded me a lot of how the horror movies from our day and age, 80s, were done.
So let me ask you: Were you able to figure out?
No. No, and I'm normally really good. Betsy got it she got it right off the top. Normally I'll get that, and I thought it was somebody completely different. They did a really good job of the person doing it wasn't like Jason Voorhees, just freaking big and imposing. It was, so you kind of had to go, well, they did a good job of blending, like no guys were too big. And then so that way you could go, well, it could be, is it a woman? But the guys are kind of, small. They're slender.
So they're modern men.
Actually, one of the guys involved in it was, or one of the cast members was the guy from one of my favorite shows. We talked about it, Can't Buy Me Love.
Yeah.
Ronald Miller. What's his real name? Patrick Dempsey.
Right.
Yeah, he's one of the main guys. So you can slender,
Bitch. So Ed brings up a great question, the Equalizer series. Now I really like that series, except I really wasn't feeling the last one, man.
I haven't seen any of them. I used to watch the show when it was on in the 80s, but it was always one of those, I'm watching it because, you're sitting down doing homework or something, you put your TV on, Equalizer's on. They were pretty basic shows to me, I always thought.
Denzel's just Denzel, man. I watched the show also growing up, and this is totally different, but man, he does a great job on it. It's action packed, but you're thinking, how's he going to get out of this? What's he going to do next? And it's really cool.
I didn't know they were any good at all. Like, I'd never heard much about them, even with him being in it, the name that he carries. I just never gave it much attention.
Well, it's a fitting movie series to talk about being on this podcast. The nostalgia with it.
Uh-huh.
I think it drew the crowd that enjoyed the series.
Well, it's funny. The real interesting part is the baiting behind it in a way, where you got an old white man and it goes to a middle-aged black man, and now isn't it a black lady? I mean, they hit them all. The Equalizer apparently knows no. The
Equalizer was ahead of his time.
He was definitely diverse and didn't know it yet. Yeah.
So Ed, I did like the beginning scene. I felt that this one was just kind of really long and drawn out. It's almost like, damn, we're out of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Acting was great. It was just, compared to the first two, it was slower. I'm not saying it was bad. It wasn't as exciting for me as the first two.
Okay. Yeah, I'd have to go way back. Yep.
So when you watch the movie, just suspend what you remember from the TV show. Mm-hmm. Pretend like you never saw it.
Well, that's just it. I don't remember much because I watched that show last in the 80s.
Well, good. You'll be right on point then.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that great then. I just didn't. I think it was only on a few years, right?
Yeah, it really wasn't that great.
It wasn't bad. It was like one of those ones I think I stumbled on. I was like, this isn't bad, but it's never something I would have showed up for every week. You know, I just happened to be around the TV set when it was on.
To me, it seemed like it was a network competition, mm-hmm. and it was almost like a knockoff of Spencer for Hire.
Yeah, that's it. You're right. Yeah, that's it. Totally. And Spencer for Hire came from, I don't know if you ever read that guy's books, Robert B. Parker.
I don't think so.
Books. They're good, man. They're real good books. He gets to the point. They're subtle. There's a lot of psychology involved in Spencer and his friends. And that's where that came from. I didn't know that because I watched the show first and then found out about the books later and went back and I was like, man, these are good books. And Spencer's a real badass in the books. Like, he's just a straight up guy, the Boston badass, but real simple, like a simple detective.
Typical Southie.
Yeah, they're good. You'd like them. They're real quick. You can get through them. There's a lot of psychology to them, surprisingly, where, like that element of he's got some stuff going on in his head and he knows he needs to deal with it, but on the outside he's a hard ass. But he does have his issues.
Don't we all?
We sure do.
So I'm going to move into TV shows that I thought were the best.
Well, let me give you one. I got two other, I'll give you quick honorable mentions. Haunting in Venice I liked. I'm a big Agatha Christie. I like the mysteries. I thought the movie was done well. I think it was a bit underrated. Now, we watched that in the hotel after we burned the house down, or I burned the house down. I won't say we. And it was just, we were sitting around one night, and there's not a lot to do when you're just sitting. And we rented that. And it was. I was pleasantly surprised. That's another one that kind of threw me in different directions. Had a good mystery. I had heard afterward as it was a Disney movie, but it wasn't up their alley, so they put it on the shelf too, because it didn't have all the elements they needed, which was woke. So they just put that stuff away for now until they, I guess, well, probably never. But that's a good one. I would recommend that. Mysteries, if you like those. And then Operation Fortune, which my wife had to remind me of this. I loved this movie, but I thought it was 2022 when it came out. It's Jason Statham, which I just don't think he's probably my favorite actor right now. He's not worried about winning an Academy. He doesn't care about that shit. He just wants to make good, entertaining movies, but it's a good, fun movie. And I recommend that. I think you'd like, have you seen that?
I haven't.
You should check it out. I think you'd like it a lot. It's just fun, good time, and
I do like him as an actor.
I do too. I'm going to go see that new one. Actually, we were going to go see it last weekend. We didn't get the chance, but that Beekeeper I heard is awesome. I heard it's just freaking nonstop fun and action packed. So that, and then Beaten to Death, which was just a simple Australian movie, about an hour and a half long. You can get that. I think it's on Amazon. But it's just I probably even talked about it. It's a brutal movie about a guy. It starts off him just getting the shit beat out of him. He's getting beat up. He's got this mammoth dude just beating the hell out of him. And it gets kind of gory from that point. You really don't know what happened. They start to fill you in why he's in the position he's in. But it's sweet, it's to the point, and it's just one of those movies that's just harsh. It's it's the reason why you and I carry guns everywhere we go. And it's the reason why they should probably start carrying guns in Australia.
Sounds like a good, wholesome family movie.
It sure is. But anyhow, we can move on from there. Go ahead and start us off with TV.
Well, it's real simple because I only had one.
Okay.
Again, I watch way more YouTube videos than I do TV or movies. It's just you can find some crazy shit on YouTube, and you can find some really entertaining stuff. But the TV show series, whatever you want to call it, that I picked for 2023 was Reacher season 2.
Yeah, I put that on my list too. I haven't finished this one yet. The new one, I don't like it as much, and I've read that book. I don't like it as much as I did season 1. It just, I don't know what it's missing. I can't put my finger on it, but I'm kind of in and out of it. I'll just kind of find myself up doing something else, which tells me something's off. I don't know what it is, but I don't think it's as good as season 1.
I would agree with you on that. I found myself kind of drifting during the season as well, and I was really kind of, I don't want to say disappointed, but like the ending, I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay, I think I'm almost to that. Like I said, I remember the book being really good. The book was probably one of the better books, but I don't think this has it.
And are you saying Reacher's kind of like a B movie? I'm not sure which one you're referring to there, but
and it's funny too because that guy, he's taking that role pretty seriously. He's doing some heavy duty stuff to keep that. I mean, he's juiced to the max, and he looks like he just got bigger in this new one.
Yeah, I mean, God bless friggin' human growth hormone and testosterone.
Dude, there's a video out there with him. It's on YouTube, and this is after Reacher was big, the first season. And he was a big guy anyways, but he was more lean. And, I mean, you don't get like that. Like, you don't carry that. You don't have that lean body weight. And you can't carry that kind of muscle and be that lean unless you're enhanced. It's just that simple.
I'm going to disagree. It was on the internet, therefore it's true.
Yeah, well, it gets better because he goes through his workout and he says, so anybody who's ever worked out or worked out intensely and done it, for long periods of time and been pretty serious about it, knows a good intense workout. They know what they're talking about. And he's on the YouTube talking about how intense. He goes, well, I don't know why people think, because the first speculation was you're on steroids. Rightfully so. And he goes, well, I'm not on steroids. It's just that my workouts are so intense. He goes, look, my workouts are so intense that most people couldn't keep up with me in the gym. So then he goes into his workouts and he's doing like rope extensions, tricep rope extensions. And he does like 3 sets. Now I'm going to do 3 sets of 15. And then I'm going to move over here to the tricep extensions, 3 sets of 15. Well, that's not an intense workout. Anybody can get through that workout. But it's like this denial. It's like, dude, just come out. I know that you have sponsors and shit like that. Just come out.
Ed says, just ask Barry Bonds. I agree. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch this series again. And I'm going to pause it when he takes his shirt off and the show is back for purely research purposes.
At one point, I remember he was in this new one. He's getting with that girl. And he's like, the thing is, he's freaking massive. He's massive. And he's just peeled. And it's just, he's 6'2". You don't get that big and you're not that peeled you just can't carry. People, the body can't carry that kind of weight and be that lean. You're going to have some body fat. Just simple as that.
Oh boy, bears in the house. Look out.
But yeah, that's a good one. I actually had that on my list.
That's and I'm just gonna look at his back to see if there's any acne secondary to this steroid. Yeah, I got nothing. Forget about it.
No, he's got the good steroids. Believe me, these are given. The steroids these guys are getting, they're prime.
This ain't the shit I got. Never mind.
Yeah, and they got good endocrinologists and shit like that, so it's all working out good. Dude, I am so fucking tangled up here.
He's gonna not that there's anything wrong with it. He's gonna come out as gay and break all these women's hearts that are watching this series, man.
Dude, I thought he looked different this time around. Did he look more like the last one? I was like, man, he looks real good, but this one he looked a little bloated. Did he in the face? Was it me or was he looking rough?
I got nothing on that, man. I didn't notice. Different. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that, Ed. What's up with Bear, man? This guy's, last I saw, he's on friggin' Instagram, had his damn shirt off and shit. I'm kind of worried.
What are you talking about?
Our buddy Mark Barris in the room. Mark Mark, Ed, and I all served together in Japan.
Oh, okay.
And
read
Mark,
those off so we'll know what you're talking about.
What's that?
I said read those off so we'll know what you're talking about.
I just did.
You commented to him. Just say, hey, Bear.
What's that?
Because we can't
Bear
see.
said, what's up?
What's up, Bear?
What's up?
Yeah, I put down Reacher 2, man. And did you see Silo on Apple TV?
I don't have Apple TV. So I'm a cheap bastard, man. I've got the internet. Mm-hmm. I don't even have cable. But Connie just recently got Hulu. So haven't really been watching it though.
That's Disney.
It is Disney. Yeah. And that is unfortunately the exact reason why she got it. Because the kids still watch a lot of Disney. But
so we can expect those transitional surgeries when?
What day is it?
It's Wednesday.
Oh, it's going to be on that one day that ends in a Y.
Silo's good. You should check it out. Then you could probably get it anywhere, but it's a good like Holocaust deal.
I'm sorry. Ed said that Bear's eating his way through America. Bear's not a small gentleman.
Okay.
Bear's from Hawaii. Bear says he's tempted to get Disney just for the Mandalorian. You know what? I don't watch any of that crap, man. I stopped being a Star Wars fan after Return of the Jedi. Any of this new stuff I can't get into, man. Okay, cool. Good story.
Well, I don't know. Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know because you go back and forth here, so I don't know if you're talking to them or me.
You know what? I'll be honest. I don't know either.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just like the sidekick. Go ahead.
You're not the fucking sidekick. Whatever, dude. Yeah, dude. So.
See, I can't see anything, so I'm like over here just.
My point is that I'm mainly looking over at this button, so I'm not really looking at the screen.
Okay.
My main point is I really don't watch a lot of anything. I will watch some shows on Amazon, but I'm really upset with Amazon right now. I told you that, right?
Yeah. You told me the story behind that. Yeah.
So I'm just, we canceled our subscription or whatever, and once it runs out, then I don't get to watch Amazon Prime anymore. But oh well.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot that's good on there anyways, other than I liked The Boys a bit, but that kind of got a little outrageous last season, but...
Hey! You like boys.
What?
You said you like boys.
The Boys, the show The Boys.
Oh, I completely misunderstood you there for a minute.
It's been quite a night, hasn't it?
I'm like, I don't judge you, man, but...
Wow, buddy. What did we do before I got over here?
Define we.
Your freaking eyes are your eyes look like dime slots.
Oh, it's because I'm tired.
Okay.
I may or may not have taken one of my sleeping aids right before you got here.
Yeah, I can tell. So, I mean, yeah, that's it. I guess we'll end it there.
That's hurtful, man.
What? I didn't do that to you.
That's hurtful.
I didn't do that to you. And I wasn't even here when you did this to yourself.
I'm great. Mark says Jack Ryan on Amazon is solid. You know, I kind of lost interest halfway through that. I don't know why.
I've never seen it. I remember seeing the movies back in the day with Harrison Ford, and I didn't think those were that great either, but I'm not like that big espionage. Is it spy kind of?
Yeah.
If it's not Bond, I'm out.
So I guess I'm not a big fan of the movies either, but I've read almost all of Clancy's books, and I really, really like the books. And the movies just, they don't do it justice, man. You know, the big one here is not Clear and Present Danger, but Without Remorse. That's my favorite Tom Clancy book, man. I don't, probably 6-7 times I've read it. And then Amazon Prime came out with the Without the Remorse little mini-series or whatever. I was stoked, man. I was pumped. I was ready to watch it and everything, and it couldn't... The only thing in common with the book was the name of the fucking title of both. They completely gutted it. Oh, okay. Don't make any promises you can't keep, Heather. Heather says, too late for a guest. I'll be down in a minute. Well, I ain't going anywhere. But Heather, our neighbor, Heather.
Okay.
So, but anyway, I mean, I was so disappointed in that, man. And there's just another F you to Amazon right there, you know? Mm-hmm. I'll get off my soapbox on
Jack
Amazon.
Ryan's on? That's what it's on, right? Is that is that the Jack Ryan from The Office?
Yeah.
That's the same guy, right?
Yeah, the actor is the same dude.
Jim Halford. He plays Jim Halford on The Office. I've never seen him. I think I've seen. There's another show called The Quiet. Is it The Quiet? It's like a horror movie where you can't make a noise or some shit like that.
Bear says, "Yep." I don't know. Oh, I know what you're talking about. If you make noise, these creatures will come eat you.
Yeah, I think him and his wife or something were in that.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I don't really know. I've never really watched. What is it? The Office.
Yeah, yeah, you should check that out. It's funny. I didn't like that. That's one of those shows, dude. Like everyone was watching it. I watched it when it first came out, then I caught back up to it later, and I was like, man, it's fucking hilarious. Like some of the exchanges between him and Dwight the goofball, you'd like it. You just got to give it a chance, and it grows, and it's like, oh shit, I can't believe I didn't watch this sooner.
I think I've watched like 2 or 3 episodes, and I'm just like, man, what am I doing? Wasting my time here. So maybe I'll give it another shot.
Yeah, do.
But anyway, yeah, it's 9:30. Wrap it up.
Yep.
All right. Well, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Ed, man, great talking to you, brother. And Bear, you know you always in my heart, my little Hawaiian bear. Anyway, we'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. We'll probably get copyrighted for that shit, but whatever.
Can you get copyrighted for that?
We'll find out. Other than that, we'll catch y'all later. Bye-bye.
Oh, here you go. How'd you know?